Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to start a brand new series. So if you've been following the channel, you know I have just worn the snot out of the Tone Master Pro for building tones. Now, we'll still address some of that stuff, but if you're really interested in diving in deeper, I suggest looking at my Fender Tone Master Pro playlist on YouTube. Or if you really want to understand sound design that'll help you out in this new series, please check out the course below. I also have a free tone bible, if you will, that you can download. The link is also in the description. And links to all the gear we're going to be using for this series are also going to be listed below. So, here's the thing. We've done a ton about sound design with the Tone Master Pro. In this next series, we're going to focus more on how to use the Tone Master Pro as a studio tool. So today, in front of me, I have the new Akai MPC Live. Now, and this is the Live 3. I own two MPCs, the MPC Live 3 and the MPC X Special Edition. Real quick, before we jump in and really get into the weeds on this, what I would really just love for you to do is to go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe if you enjoy music production content that's centered around guitar players. So in this video, what we're going to do is I'm going to explain what an MPC is, because if you're like me, the first time I heard about this, I was really confused. There's a lot going on here, and it really didn't make sense for me the first time I got an MPC. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to go over setup, we're going to build a template, and depending on the length of the video, we might even start working on a track. Alright, so first of all, what is an MPC? MPC stands for MIDI Production Center, but in today's world, you can pretty much call it a music production center. I decided to use an MPC instead of doing the typical DAW thing because I just think that if you produce a lot in a DAW, this is just way more fun. But also, if you do not have a really good computer and you haven't started investing in virtual studio instruments like VSTs and different plugins, I just think there's a really good value proposition for 90% of the guys who watch my channel. Now, I do not finish tracks in here, in full disclosure. I get about 80 to 90% of the track done, and then I import it into my Ableton session. But what this allows me to do as a songwriter is to get ideas out quickly and to be portable. So I told you I own two MPCs. I'll explain why now. My MPC Live 3 is my on-the-go production rig. I just got this, but already, the other day, I posted a video of me doing a RuneScape video. I did that entire track sitting out by my fireplace, having a fire going, and just enjoying, being outside. Being untied from my computer is amazing. Now, the other reason why I have two MPCs is I bought the X Special Edition last year, and that controls all of my hardware. So when I'm doing DAWless jams or writing without using any software instruments, using all hardware, I like to use that as my MIDI brain. And it's fully capable, it's just it's big and bulky, so I wanted something that was portable. Now, the MPC Live 2, it also has a lot more power than my X. I think my X can have either 8 or 16 plugins running at one time, and a ton of audio tracks, whereas this can have up to 32 plugins running at the same time. Virtual instrument plugins, not including, everything else that it's got going on. So there is a ton of power here. And the other cool thing is I use both of them in tandem. So my birthday's coming up, and me and my friends, we rented out a cabin in North Carolina. And we're going to be doing a jam session up there and doing a lot of recording. And I'm going to be using this as its own synthesizer, but it'll be connected to the main brain, so we're still having really good MIDI clock. Alright, so with that out the way, we're going to use this as our DAW. So for connections, I am just running two stereo outputs, so left and right 1/4 inch jack, into inputs 1 and 2 on the MPC X. First thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new project. Whenever you create yours, if you're using the same MPC I have, it'll load up the trap beat. I just kind of gotten away with that because I don't really use it that much. So with songwriting, when I am, scratching out an idea, let's think about, all the things we're going to need. So for me personally, I know I'm going to need drums. I know I'm going to need bass. I know that I'm going to need chords. And then guitar. So guitar is going to be the last element we do on this. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up a drum track. So, and I'm just going to use the stuff that comes with the MPC Live 3. The acoustic drum tools is awesome. So let's just take a look. Honestly, I like this. This is a smooth jazz track. Now, finger drumming in its own is an art. There's a software that I'm actually subscribed to called Melodics, and I'm using it for both finger drumming and keys. Now you could do, if you have a computer, you could write out your entire MIDI track or use something like Easy Drums and import that MIDI in. But I like struggling through finger drumming because everything I'm doing on this thing is making me a better musician all around. So that really translates to guitar. Like, for example, just to show you what this is, red is kick. So you got different snare articulations. You know, so we've got everything. You know, I'm not the best, so full disclosure. But all right, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a template of everything we need, and then we'll jump into a little bit of songwriting. We won't do anything too crazy and finish a whole track. We're going to do a whole series for this, so don't worry. All right, first thing I'm going to do is new track, and I'm going to do plugin, and just get in the habit of naming your plugin. To do that again, all I did was I came over here to this plugin icon, I pressed and held, and then I did bass. Now, I have been investing in these plugins. So unfortunately, Guitar Center hasn't given them to me. I've been buying them out of my own pocket, but they're really good and they're well priced, especially if you get them on like Christmas Day. I got a bunch of good sales and Black Friday. But my favorite bass tone comes from this Mini D. I'm a synth head, man. If you can't tell, I got a bunch of different synthesizers, and I love this Mini D. It's just one of my favorites. But let's see. We're gonna go to notes. Today I'm going to be writing in the key of D. I don't know if I'll be D major or D minor yet. We'll see where our progression goes. Okay, that's too low. Now, what you're looking at here on this screen, I'm going to come back to this when I do my chords, but you can either use a MIDI controller, like I have my Yamaha synthesizer here. I can plug the MIDI out and use it if I want a MIDI controller. But what I really recommend is get used to the pads, because the pads really open you up. And you can change scale. So right now this is D major. Make sure I'm not clipping. Alright. I can say I want to be in D natural minor. And you can do multiple. This is a monophonic synthesizer, so we can only do one note at a time, but I'll show you chords in a second. But yeah, you can see you've got every different type of scale. So if you're someone who's like, yeah, I want to write in D Dorian today, you can do that. But we're going to leave it. I'll probably do D natural minor. And let's just do a simple, let's see if we got a sub. If not, we'll just go with that. Cool. Perfect. That's great for all I need right now. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add in our keys. So new track, plug in, and I'm going to label this. We'll just call it chords because we don't know. That's not how you spell chords. Do it. Every time there's an option for the do it on the MPC, just know in my mind I'm like Star Wars. Do it. Alright, so my favorite plugin on here for keys, man, like, listen, dude, this is probably the best instance of Rhodes that I've heard. So the plugin is Stage EP, and the preset I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Setup and Rich Rhodes. Now, here is where the MPC opens me up as a songwriter. Alright, so we're going to go to Notes, we're going to go to Progressions. Now, everything on here... these are chords. It's just MIDI progressions. So I tend to like to write a lot of chill music. So think a lot of like lo-fi, jazz, hip-hop, R&B, neo-soul. That's where I really love to live as an artist. In addition to, if I'm writing with guitar, if I'm writing with synthesizers, I like to do a lot of just like electronic chill. So think EDM, but in the style of like melodic house, or, you know, down-tempo stuff like Tycho, if you're familiar with him, some Glass Animal stuff. So you can do all of that and so much more. You can do straight rock and roll if that's your thing. You can even do metal on here. Whatever you can think of, you can do on modern MPCs. You know, MPCs back when they came out in the 80s, they were really popular in the hip hop scene and rap. I mean, more Grammys have been made with an MPC than any other instrument, which is insane. Well, I should say that with caveats. But it's a super successful unit, proven. So what I want to do is write mostly in D minor. So I'm just going to scroll through these presets, and let's see, this has a G minor, a D minor 9. So you can do one of two things when you look at this. You can either play it straight. Let's go down an octave. But that's kind of boring. So like what I like to do is just look at the progressions that I'm here. We'll do something simple, like let's think, if I'm in D minor. Let's see. Where does that want to go? To A? Okay, so maybe not this progression, but I like how that sounds. Let's try major. No, I'm definitely in a minor mood. Maybe let's go down an octave too. Oh yeah. That A7 flat 9 leads nicely back to D minor. Listen to it. Alright, so let's do that, okay? So, there's a couple of different ways that you can work within an MPC. You can either work linearly like a traditional DAW, but one of the things I've been really leaning into is this matrix manager. So this is new for me, but I know this is really popular in Ableton. In full disclosure, I went to school at Full Sail University, and we have always worked in like Logic Pro, Pro Tools linearly. So that's how my composer brain works, is like build an 8-bar loop, then split that up into like the first half of the song, and then build out the rest of the song, you know, afterwards. That's kind of been my workflow for the past 3 years. But this is kind of challenging that in a good way, because what matrix mode allows us to do is we can craft different song parts, and then we can play them in different orders, and we can then take that and print it into our arranger mode linearly like a DAW. And I just enjoy that because you can come up with different combinations that would typically take a lot of copying and pasting, and this just makes it so, it just makes it really fast. And I'll show you an example here in a second. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to main. We are in our, we'll just call this, I don't know, verse, because we don't know what it really is yet. The song isn't created. Our length, I think that was only 4 bars. Let me see. Oh, what do we do? Let me go back to notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's perfect for getting an idea started. All right. What's that tempo I'm thinking of? So probably 1, 2, 3, 4. Where are we at? 93. We'll go ahead and bump that down to 90. Do it. All right, so now I'm gonna make sure my metronome is on. It is, and let's go ahead and record. And let me turn on my notes so I can see. All right, just like that, we have an idea down. Just chords. We haven't grabbed our guitar yet, so now let's go back into our bass, and let's see, what was the progression? So D, G, B flat, A7. So we are in the key of D natural minor. All right, now that I got my keys, I'll probably change out this sound. Again, the trick is to go fast, so we don't want to spend too much time on this until the song is written. that has a slide that I want to come down. So let's go into edit. And where is slide on this? There it is, glide. I don't want it to glide. Yeah, we'll just do legato. Yeah, this is so cool, man. Like, if you understand synthesizers, like, holy smokes, you know? All right, so now what we're going to do is go back to our matrix, and we're also going to create the bass intro. And let's go into main. And if this is confusing of how fast I'm going, don't worry about it for this first video. What I really wanted to do is just kind of show you an overview of the workflow. And then as you guys have questions, leave them in the comment section. And I'm going to build out a whole series on this because, I mean, this is my gear. This is the next evolution of my channel, is showing you guys, okay, how do we actually get into guitar artistry? And that's my whole business, is guitar artistry program. So if you're interested in this stuff and if you really want to dive in deep and work with me, reach out to me. Instagram is really the best place to have a one-on-one communication, or you can email me at damianandymusic@gmail.com, and I'd love to work with you and help you learn how to, design tracks. But let's go back into our notes. So what did I say the progression was? D, G, B flat, A. You can't really use this mode because it's doing chords and we're using a monophonic thing, so D. So maybe what we should do is this. Let's go. 3, 4. Oh, that's too low. And I'm just going to keep it simple. Again, we're not trying to write the most impressive thing that's ever been written. We're just trying to write and get in the habit of it. Alright, my son is waking up, so we're going to cut this video here. This is episode 1 of this. In the next episode, what we'll do is we'll add in drums, and then we'll add in guitar. But this is really my workflow shown to you in real time. I hope you guys all enjoyed. If you learned something new, let me know in the comment section. And if you watched it to this far, let me know 1 or 2 things you're grateful for this year. I'm really grateful you guys are here. I'm so grateful that you guys have given me an audience to build a business around and to really showcase the thing that I love the most. So with that, I just want to say thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video.